Breaking news. Lansing just made the top 10 out of 200 real estate markets in the entire country. This is according to a Wall Street Journal, Realtor.com article that just came out for the summer of 2025. So Lansing, Michigan is starting to climb the national ranks. What does that mean for you? Well, I'm going to get into that, and be sure to stay tuned until the end, because I will say the most important reason why this is important for you if you're looking to relocate here to the Lansing, Michigan area. So let's get started with this next episode of Lansing, Michigan Life right now. Hey folks, Troy Seifert here with the Capital Area Real Estate Specialist in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. I'm a top producing realtor in the Greater Lansing, Michigan area, and I get phone calls from people all over the country, even all around the world, people who are just like you, looking to relocate here to the Lansing, Michigan area. So whether you're looking to move here in 6 days, 60 days, 90 days, 9 months from now, whatever your timetable looks like, feel free to contact me anytime. All my contact information, it's in the description below. So feel free to call me, text me, email me, or schedule a Zoom call with me so that we can talk face to face about your real estate goals. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, because we do have new episodes of Lansing, Michigan Life going live once or twice a week. So you're definitely not gonna wanna miss any time that we have a new episode go live. And also, if you like the content of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like this video as well. Okay, so this is big news for a place like Lansing, Michigan. If you haven't been watching my channel, I have a vast library of videos all about the Greater Lansing, Michigan area. If you've been watching every single video, I brag about Lansing, Michigan a lot, right? And so maybe it doesn't come as a surprise to you to be like, hey, finally, like, Lansing is on the map. This is great. And like I said before, Realtor.com and the Wall Street Journal came out with an article just recently that ranked 200 of the largest real estate markets across the country. And Lansing, for the summer of 2025, came in at number 6. I mean, it didn't even cut, like, you know, when you say top 10, you're like, oh, they came in at 10th, like right at the bottom. They came in at number 6, which I feel is incredibly strong. And the reason why they did, it's not just because of the recent real estate statistics. It's not just all based on that. So I do want to read from you from the article of like why they came up with this ranking system. So the ranking evaluates the 200 most populous core-based statistical areas as measured by the U.S. Census Bureau and defined by July 2023 OMB delineation standards for 8 indicators across 2 broad categories: real estate market, 60%, and economic health and quality of life, 40%. So those are the 2 broad categories. Each market is ranked on a scale of 0 to 100 according to the category indicators, and the overall result is based on the weighted sum of these rankings. The real estate market category indicators are real estate demand, 15%, based on average page views per property. Real estate supply at 15%, based on median days on market for real estate listings. Median listing price trend at 15% based on annual price growth over the quarter. Property taxes, 10%, and climate risk to properties, 10%. The economic and quality of life category indicators are unemployment at 5% of how they came up with what they came up with. Wages are 5% of how they came up with what they came up with. Regional price parities, which I will explain what that means, at 5%. And the share of foreign-born, 5%, small businesses 5%, amenities 10%, measured as the average number of stores per specific everyday splurge category, coffee upscale, as well as commute for 5%. Okay, so it wasn't like they just randomly chose 10 places and they're like, you know what, they're pretty affordable, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and use them. There were so many different categories here, and so in the meat of this video, I'm actually going to be going over these sections of where Lansing, Michigan ranked and why it came in at number 6. I mean, half of the top 10, when I looked at the list, half the top 10 were in Midwest cities. That's got to say something about why it's in the top 10, and one of those indicators, I'll be able to explain that, why. All of the top 10 were either in the Northeast or Midwest. That's what made up a lot of it. So you didn't really see any in the South or in the West. a little interesting there. Lansing was definitely the highest ranked out of all the cities in Michigan. The only one that came close for cities in Michigan was Ann Arbor, I believe, which is where University of Michigan is, and that came in at number 20. So Lansing, things are good. Things are good with the real estate market in Lansing. It's a healthy real estate market, and let me go ahead and just kind of give you some of the stats here and kind of tell you some of the stories as to give you an explanation as to why they made number 6. And if you looked at one of my first videos, one of my first videos that I've done on the channel, there was an article that came out last year in 2024 that said, coming up for the spring market, that Lansing was in the top 20 for all the real estate markets across the country. So it was only a matter of time before Lansing just started moving up the ranks. And I feel part of the reason is because it is more affordable. The average price that they came in with, and this was Lansing, East Lansing combined, was around $280,000. And that is significantly less than what the national average is. So the other economic factors, which I've addressed in some of my videos, if you look at my channel about things to do and places to go and cost of living, it was only a matter of time before I feel Lansing was able to gain some sort of nationwide attention. The ranking system, again, the first 60% of why Lansing got number 6 in the rankings, okay? The first reason why is because 60% of the ranking was in the real estate. So it was definitely pretty strong in the real estate market after you hear some of these statistics. So the first subcategory of that category, the real estate category, is real estate demand, which was 15% of the score, okay? When I say the percentages, it's of the score. So real estate demand came in at 15% of the score. So Lansing saw 8.5% more listing views per property than the US average. The beauty of Realtor.com is they are a search engine. So they're able to see, what are people looking for? Where are they looking? So 8.5% more listing views per property than the US average. Over 2/3 of all views came from outside the Lansing, East Lansing metro area. So a lot of relocation, people who are just like you watching this channel, people then wanting to potentially maybe buy here. Maybe you're watching this channel and you went on Realtor.com, right? So maybe you're helping the statistics for Lansing, East Lansing, and you had no idea you were doing it. And then a huge indicator that some buyers are watching Lansing, they're seeing it. So again, maybe it is through a channel like this as to why they are exploring it and seeing what's out there. I don't know. I mean, that would be great. That would be awesome to be able to, just kind of help the Lansing real estate market. And so the number 2 subcategory is the real estate supply, which was another 15% of that score. And the median days on the market in June 2025. So when you do median, it's not average. They take all the numbers of all the homes, of how long they took to sell, and they go right in the middle. That's what median is. Okay, so median days on market in June 2025 was 32 days. So that's 5 days faster than the national median average, according to the statistics that Wall Street Journal and Realtor.com have. So it's telling you Lansing homes are selling quickly, and that's even before coming up here, the fall activity that's gonna be coming up. The next subcategory has to do with price growth trend, which is 15% of the score. So when they looked at the stats, Lansing's annual price growth from June 2024 to June 2025 was plus 13%. And that's well above the national average inflation or appreciation in 2025. So the median list price, as I said before, $282,450. So still affordable compared to the national median list price, which is at $440,000 nationwide. So about $160,000 cheaper than the national average. The number 4 factor had to do with property taxes, which was at 10% of that score. Now this would be the one where I'm like, Lansing, you might have been able to rank a little bit higher than some of these areas. You could maybe been the top 3, top 2, if it weren't for the stinking property taxes, because I've talked about the property taxes in Lansing, Michigan. They are quite high, and the Michigan's average effective property tax rate is 1.32% of the purchase price, approximately. But I think it's actually higher than that in the Lansing area, especially the Lansing City area. So it's lower than states like maybe Illinois, New Jersey, some parts of New York, if you were closer to New York City. So property taxes would probably be the weakest part of this. But again, they still came in at number 6. And then the other one was climate risk, which came in at 10% of the score. Now, according to their stats, only 4.6% of properties in Lansing face severe or extreme climate risk over the next 30 years. So that has to do with hurricanes. The biggest thing that Lansing faces are the occasional tornadoes. And so we have had a tornado in Williamston. It was a bad storm. If you drive down the highway, you see, it almost looks like a war zone on the interstate when you're driving around the Williamston area. And that really is, since I have lived here for close to 18, 19 years, that's really the only major climate factor that I've had to deal with the weather. So places have hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes, other natural disasters, right? So that definitely probably gave Lansing a really high score, and probably the reason why a lot of Midwest cities are 5 of the 10, because Midwest cities don't have a lot of risk when it comes to climate stuff. Okay, now let's get into the economic health and the quality of life. Let's go outside real estate. A lot of that was real estate data. So the economic data, unemployment rate was one of those factors, which came in at 5% of the score. Lansing's unemployment rate was 4%. Which is below the national average, which shows job market stability. And the big thing that I do want to point out here, in the article, it's pretty cool. If you haven't read it, definitely try to read it. And as this video is going on, you probably have seen little snippets of it as I've been talking. But they do feature Lansing, Michigan as one of the premier ones because it rose a ton of slots. And so they featured Lansing and the statistics, which is so great to be able to present to you because this is the accurate data coming right from it. It's not like I'm making this up. And the one thing that's so great about our area is we have good healthcare. We have 2 hospitals. We have University of Michigan Sparrow and McLaren Hospital. We have a university. We have the state government jobs, which is huge. We also have insurance industry headquarters for auto owners, Michigan Farm Bureau. You have Jackson National Life. So you have a lot of corporations that are here in the area. And so, you have a lot of relocation people that are coming in and out. You also have GM. I almost forgot the most important one, GM as well. So you have people coming in and out, which is, helps the real estate market with the inventory, but also shows that people are coming in. And they continue to build more things and more jobs in this area. So it doesn't surprise me that this is only coming in at, the unemployment rate's only at 4%. The number 2 factor of the economic health and quality of life had to do with wages. That was 5% of the score. And the median household income, this is in Okemos, East Lansing, Delta Township, approximately $63,000. But when you compare it, $63,000 wage to $280,000 for the median home price, that's actually a pretty good ratio. And so again, the wages that are here help support housing as of right now. So strong wage to cost of living ratio is huge. And again, that's 5% of the scores. The third factor has to do with regional price parity. What does that mean? Cost of living. What does it look like? How much do goods cost compared to other places? So Lansing's cost of living is around 8% below the national average. So gas, if you're looking at your groceries, healthcare, they're more affordable here in the Lansing, Michigan area. The number 4 factor had to do with share of foreign-born residents. That's 5% of it. So the diversity of the area. So 6.96% of Lansing's population is foreign-born. So a lot of that is boosted by Michigan State University. We have a large international student population. We have a faculty presence that people come from all over the world to be able to come to Michigan State University. So that adds diversity, it adds global talent, it adds culture to our area. A small percentage of that score, 5%, but it does help to be in a college town where you do have all of that diversity. Another factor was small business density, which is 5% of the score. And if you've been following my channel, I've shown you Old Town, which has a lot of small businesses. You have the downtown Lansing area, you have downtown East Lansing area, you have Rio Town, you have all these areas that are up and coming where you have a lot of small business owners. Having all those areas and all those special downtowns, I mean, again, watch my vlog tours in Williamston and Grand Ledge. Again, downtowns with lots of very popular, successful small businesses. That is going to help the score. So again, it doesn't surprise me that the small business density and the amount of small businesses we have and how successful they are is a reason why Lansing ranks in the top 10. The number 6 factor has to do with the amenities. The amenities in Lansing, that was 10% of the score, so a little bit larger than some of these other ones. So Greater Lansing scores well in coffee shops. We have tons of locally owned coffee shops, and we have Big B and we have Starbucks everywhere. Specialty grocery stores, so Horrocks, we even have Trader Joe's, we have Whole Foods, we have Fresh Thyme Food Market as well in East Lansing. Fitness, which even in like DeWitt, like the Greater Lansing area, like sidewalks are everywhere. East Lansing sidewalks are everywhere. They have YMCA's, Planet Fitness, Orange Theory. They have all these fitness facilities around. And then home improvement. So we have every single big box home improvement store that's out there, even a bunch of Ace Hardwares and local hardware stores as well. So the density of these everyday splurge spots is high per capita of the size of our area, which is around, the metro area is around 500,000 people. Especially for a mid-sized city, that is a good ratio to be able to have with all these amenities. And then number 7, the last thing for 5% of the score has to do with the commute time. And I've said this over and over on this channel as well. We are surrounded by highways everywhere and our traffic is incredibly low. So it doesn't surprise me that commute time we would score extremely high in, because you can get to things extremely fast unless there's an accident or unless like there's construction season that you have to go on a detour somewhere. But overall, we're pretty spoiled in the Lansing area as far as commute. They have on here the Lansing Metro average is about a little less than 20 minutes for your commute. That might be right. If you live in Okemos and you're going to the hospital, you're commuting there. Or if you live in Okemos and you're going to the west side of town to Auto Owners Insurance, or you live in Grand Ledge and you commute to Jackson National, which is over in Okemos. I mean, that could be right. So around 20 minutes is the average commute. The US average commute is 27 minutes. So again, that's less than the average, shows a strong score. So less traffic means more time, means better quality of life. So why is this important to be able to have this? Is this just a normal random article? I mean, I don't, because I think I gave you guys a lot of data factors, which I think is good, and I kind of explained why they came up with what they came up with. But the reason why it's important is if you're looking to come to an area and relocate to an area, you want to go to an area where if you feel like you're going to live here for maybe 3 to 5 years, like that's what you're seeing, and you have a goal of being somewhere for 3 to 5 years, and when you sell your house, you want to be able to make sure that, hey, I'm not gonna lose money on this. Lansing would be a pretty sure bet for your house to not completely just crumble in value. I know there was the economic downturn in 2008. Some of that had to do with GM, like the car industry not doing well, but Michigan did get hit hard because there was a lot of job loss from that. But I'm not seeing a lot of foreclosures or people not being able to make their payments. So it's gonna be important for you, especially if a house is gonna be your most important asset, which is what everyone says. It's gonna be one of your most highly valued assets that you own, that you find an area where the appreciation year to year is gonna be great. And I'm not saying that there's not other places in Michigan where there could be appreciation, but you wanna be in a place that's gonna be well-rounded, that has a strong real estate market, but also strong socio-economical factors. So hopefully with seeing this data, maybe if you've been on the fence, you're thinking like, maybe I should, maybe I want to live in Grand Rapids, or maybe I want to live in Detroit, or maybe I want to live in Ann Arbor or Brighton, okay? Give Lansing a chance, okay? I really feel like for the price of everything and everything that's around here, it's a great place to be able to call home. So if you are looking to call Lansing your home, or maybe you thought to yourself, yeah, like I want to give it a shot, or I know I'm going to move here in 2 months or 6 months from now, again, contact me. In the description below is all my information. Call me, text me, email me, schedule a Zoom call with me, just so I can talk with you face to face about what you're thinking. And then also, like this video if you like the content. I especially like this article, so hopefully you guys liked the content and it was extremely valuable to you. So I love being able to brag on the city that I live in. I think it's awesome that we got nationally ranked in something. and on a major news source, I think that's awesome. So continue watching my channel. Again, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so you can be notified for the next episode. And until next time, make it a great day. Take care.